I am Dr. C. Nagaraju, Department of Zoology from SV Government Arts and Science College, Palem. In this video, I have chosen topic for BJC second year, semester 4, paper 4, that is cell biology, genetics and developmental biology. In that topic is general characters of fishes. First we have to observe the general introduction of the fishes. Fishes are the first formed vertebrates with jaws. Which organism have or possess jaws? Such type of the organisms are called gnathostomes. Gnatho meaning means jaws, stome means mouth. They constitute 49.68% of the vertebrates. Fishes have adapted to live in a large range of aquatic habitats. According to FishBase, an open access knowledge repository and a global information system on fishes, the total number of extant means living finfish in FishBase as of October 2016 is 33,454 species, including subspecies. Among these, the fish species from freshwater, marine waters and brackish are diadromous. Diadromous means that can live in both freshwater and in the ocean waters are about 15,220, 15,156 and 3,078 respectively. Fishes exhibit great diversity in shape and size. The smallest fish is Pedocypris progenetica, Sumatra larvacarpic of 7.9 millimeter long, belonging to ray-finned fish. While Rhincodon typus, that is whale shark, is the largest and heaviest fish. Largest means length is 12.65 meter or 41.5 feet. 21.5 tons or 19,504.47 kgs in the world. The study of fishes is known as theology. Peter Artedi, a Swedish naturalist, is known as the father of ichthyology. Next we have to knowing about the what are the general characteristics of fishes. Fishes are aquatic animal that inhabit freshwater, marine water and brackish or estuarine water. The fishes can live in the freshwater, marine water and brackish estuarine water. They are phyclothermic or cold-blooded vertebrates that vary their internal or body temperature according to the temperature of their surrounding environment. Means phyclothermic animals means the animals do not have the capacity to maintain constant body temperature irrespective of surrounding environment. That is why the fishes can showing the migration, means they can move one place to another places according to the monsoon. First one, we have to write the habitat, the fishes where can live, and second point is these are phyclothermic animals. Body shapes are variable such as streamline and fusiform, that is salmon, rounded, that is blowfish, flat, flounders, laterally compressed, skates and rays, dorsoventrally flat. long and slender, that are eels. Deep body, perches. Rat tail, chimeras, shape, etc. Different fishes having different shapes. That tell us a lot about where it lives, how it moves through water, how it eats, and more. Then third point you have to write the shape of the fishes. The body is divisible into head, trunk, and tail. Neck is absent. And fifth point is exoskeleton consists of dermal scales. Example: sharks, salmon, perch, gores. Armor plates, box fishes. Scutes, sturgeon, are scaleless. There is no scales. Example: eel fishes. Skin contains multicellular mucus glands. Their secretions acts as a lubricant and prevent friction between water in the body interface. Which fishes having the multicellular mucus glands having that multicellular mucus glands secrete the mucus. But what is the role of the mucus means? It is useful for, or it acts as a lubricant and prevent friction between water and the body interface. Next, endoskeleton is composed of bone or cartilage. Means few fishes are bony fishes is there, and also few fishes are cartilaginous fishes also is there. Vertebra are amphicoelous, means both the anterior and posterior face of centrum or concave. Ribs are usually present. Sternum is absent. Pectoral and pelvic girdles support respective fins. Next, presence of paired means pectoral and pelvic fins, and unpaired fins or median fins, that are dorsal, anal, and caudal fin. See here, just you have to concentrate here. The fish is having fins, but these fins are categorized to few fins are paired and few fins are unpaired, means having single. Which one paired, which one unpaired? Pectoral and pelvic fins are paired fins. Unpaired fins are dorsal, anal, and caudal fins. So this is the fins are categorized to location, depend on the location where the fins can located. They categorized into different names. Supported by soft or spiny rays, they assist in stabilizing the body during swimming. Here, seventh point you have to write about fins. Eighth, external nostrils are paired and open into blind nasal sacs. Internal nares are present in osteolipids and lungfishes. So actually, external nostrils are paired and open into blind nasal sacs. But internal nares are present in which fishes? That are specialized with osteolipids and lungfishes having internal nares also. That is right about the 8th point is about nostrils. Then next point, write about dentition. Dentition is polyphyodont. Teeth are replaced many times, means that is called as a polyphyodont dentition. Homodont means the teeth are similar in shape. Acrodont, attached to jaw summit. Some have a spiral valve in intestine. It increases absorptive surface area. Some fishes having the spiral valve in intestine. What is the role of spiral valve? Means that is increasing the surface area of the absorption. Next, coelom. So what is the coelom? The space between body wall and elementary canal, that is called coelom. In the fishes, coelom consists of a small anterior pericardial cavity that contains the heart and a large pleuroperitoneal cavity that encloses all other viscera except kidneys. These two are separated by a septum transversum. That is, you have to here keep in your mind what about means pericardial cavity and septum transversum. Next, presence of barbels, whiskers, excellent tactile organs. What is the role of barbels and whiskers means? These are the tactile organs. In some teleosteis, example catfish and goldfishes. So what are the barbels means? Some fishes having them at the area of snout having the hair like projections. So that is the tactile means touch. So whenever that fish is swimming in the water, it has the acts as a specialized tactile organs or tactile receptors. So that is the keeping our mind about barbels, knowing the sensation. The endoskeleton is cartilaginous. That fishes are called chondrichthyes fishes. And which fishes having bones, that are called osteichthyes fishes. Next, respiration. Exchange of respiratory gases in primarily through gills. Hence, the respiration is called bronchial respiration. Gills are borne by true gill arches on each side of the head. Gill arches bear gill filaments. The direction of blood flow in gill filament is opposite to the direction of flow of water through gill slits. The counter current flow. What is the counter current flow means? The opposite directions. Enhance oxygenation of blood. Accessory respiratory organs may also be present. Gills open outside by gill slits, which are covered by operculum in teleosteis or bony fishes. The gill slits are never more than 7 pairs. Cartilaginous fishes. Usually 5 pairs are present. How many gills are located? Actually, the gill slits are never more than 7 pairs. Actually, these are having 5 pairs. Next, a swim bladder or air bladder or gas bladder is usually present, but secondly lost in some species, that are flat fishes. Actually, maximum fishes having air bladder or swim bladder or gas bladder usually present. Secondly lost in some species, example flat fishes. It is a hydrostatic or lost organ that helps in buoyancy. Means what is meant by buoyancy means have the capacity to floating on the surface of the water by adjusting the secretion or absorption of gases, floating, and also increasing the capacity of absorption of gases like oxygen, nitrogen, then carbon dioxide. Lateral line organs are neuromost organs occurs in lateral line canals that open at intervals by pores. They act as rheoreceptors. This is entrance point of view, important, keep in your mind. What about neuromost organs? What is the role? The lateral line organs are neuromost organs occurs in lateral line canals that open at intervals by pores. They act as rheoreceptors. What is meant by rheoreceptors? Sensitivity to flow of water currents is called as a rheoreceptors. Which organs are acts as a rheoreceptors in fishes means Keep in your mind, lateral line organs are neuromast organs. Or what is the role of neuromast organs means they act as a receptor or sensitivity to flow of water currents. That is entrance point of purpose important. Each internal ear has 3 semicircular canals. Middle and external ears are absent. Ears primarily serves as organs of equilibrium. What is the role of ears means the primary functions of these organs, maintenance of the equilibrium. Next, heart. Heart is venous. Venous heart means only deoxygenated blood passes through it. No oxygenated blood flows in the heart. Hence, the fish's heart is called as a venous heart. And bichambered with one auricle and one ventricle, sinus venosus and conus arteriosus are present. Heart is termed bronchial heart as it pumps blood only to gills. Why? Because the heart is called as a bronchial heart means heart is termed bronchial heart. Why? Because as it pumps blood only to gills. Hence the heart is considered as a bronchial heart. Single circuit circulation occur here. Hence the heart is called as a single circuit heart. Blood passes only once through heart in one circuit. Hence the circulate system is called a single circuit circulation. The heart is called a single circuit heart. Aortic arches are 4 to 7 pairs. Hepatic and renal portal systems are present. Erythrocytes are nucleated. So once again see here entire the point here. Just what heart is 2 chambers heart, one auricle and one ventricle. The heart is called generally venous heart. Why? Because only deoxygenated blood going passes. And heart also called bronchial heart. Why? Because pumps the blood only to gills. It occurs single circuit circulation. And aortic arches are 4 to 7 pairs. Hepatic and renal portal systems are present. Erythrocytes are nucleated. It is about entire the circulatory system point. Next about the brain. The brain and spinal cords are covered by single meninx. Meninx primitiva. That is called as a meninx primitiva. Cerebral hemispheres are inconspicuous. 10 pairs of cranial nerves are present here. Brain and spinal cords present. The brain is covered by a layer. It is called meninx primitiva. Cerebral hemispheres are inconspicuous. 10 pairs of cranial nerves are present. How many cranial nerves here present in the fishes? 10 pairs. Functional adult kidneys are next about excretory system here. Functional adult kidneys are generally mesonephros. Pronephros in few teleost species, but here in the fishes mesonephros. Most fishes possess urinary bladder formed by the enlargement of mesonephric duct. Fishes are generally ammonotelic, means the organism excrete the excretory product is ammonia. Hence such organisms are called as a ammonotelic organism. Cartilaginous fishes are ureotelic. That is keep in your mind. All fishes are ammonotelic, but except cartilaginous fishes. The cartilaginous fishes excrete the urea as a excretory product. And kidneys are which type of the kidneys? Mesonephros kidneys. And all the fishes are here ammonotelic, but except cartilaginous fishes are ureotelic. That is keep in your mind. Next about report system. The gonads possess true gonoducts, both sperm ducts and oviducts. Sexes are mostly separated, means male and female organisms separated. Sequential hermaphrodite occurs in species in which the individual is born as one sex, but can later change into the opposite sex in clownfish. Actually, all the fishes are sexes are separate, but whenever A sequence hermaphrodite occurs in species in which the individual is born as one sex but can later change into the opposite sex. In we have to see in the which type of the fishes means clown fishes. Fertilization is usually external. Internal fertilization occurs in most cartilaginous fishes, maximum external, but in the cartilaginous fishes takes place the internal fertilization, and also some teleost fishes also. Fishes are anamniates, means amnion and allantoins are absent in the embryonic stages, as the fishes are called anamniates. Development is direct, means no larval formation. Indirect means having larval. But in viviparous forms hammer-headed shark, and indirect in oviparous forms most of the bony fishes, and ovoviviparous example of fishes. Viviparous means the animals are giving birth to young ones, directly giving birth to young ones. Such type of the organisms are called viviparous. Oviparous means egg laying animals. Ovoviviparous means they can laying eggs and giving the birth. So here that is the keep in our mind. Development is direct in viviparous forms, example hammer headed shark. Indirect in oviparous forms most of the bony fishes, and ovoviviparous keep in our mind pup fishes. See, these are the general characteristics of the fishes once here. First you have to mention the introduction of fishes and go for habitat. Next phyclothermic, what about body shape, after that how the body can going to be divided, and what is the exoskeleton, and what about endoskeleton, what about fins and external nostrils, and then dentition or right about teeth, and go for coelom, and then about barbels, and with how many categories of fishes here, cartilaginous and bone. After that go for respiratory system, and then for swim bladder, right. After that neuromost organs, and about ears, and then circulatory system, and then nervous system, and after that excretory system, then gonads, reproductive system, and also last finally how the development going to be occurs in the fishes. This point you have to keep in our mind and write about general characteristics of the fishes. Thank you.